Hello Year 3 and welcome to Lesson 3 this week of Maths, and today we're looking at non-unit fractions, so it's slightly different from yesterday. Okay, our date is the 31st of March 2021, so I want you to underline that with a pencil and a ruler and then write the LO, which is to recognise and write non-unit fractions, and then underline that with the pencil and your ruler, and then we're good to go for the daily starter. Okay, so our daily starter, we've got 4 different types of question there. Pause the video now, give those a try, and then once you're ready, we will look at the answers together. Which we will do. We will look at the answers in 3, 2, 1. There we are. So we've used the less than symbol here. 219 is less than 291, of course. 562 add 200 is 762. 558 subtract 200 is 358. 23 times 3 is 69. And we have to work out the perimeter of this shape, which isn't drawn to scale. We have 7 centimetres here, 2 centimetres here, which must mean that they're the same on opposite sides because of this shape. It's a regular shape. So 7 add 7 is 14, and 2 add 2 is 4. So what's 14 add 4? Well, it's 18 centimetres. Well done if you got any of those right. If you got all of them, excellent work. Let's move on to what we're going to do today. Okay, let's have a look at the fractions shaded in each diagram. They're slightly different from yesterday because it isn't just one part shaded all the time, is it? Well, in this one, we've got 1 over 3, or a third. This one, we've got 2 over 3, which is 2/3. This one, we've got 3 over 3, which is 1 whole, because imagine if you had 3 bits of pizza and then all 3 were eaten, then you've eaten the whole thing, haven't you? You've got nothing left. Okay, so we've got 1 over 3, 2 over 3, 3 over 3. So what does that mean here? Well, that means that we've got equal parts again, notice. But we've got 1 over 4 here, which is a quarter. We've got 2 over 4 here, which funnily enough, looks exactly like it's half as well. So 2 over 4 is actually a half. 3 over 4, which is 3/4. And 4 over 4 is all of it, isn't it? Because even if there were 4 slices of pizza and you ate all of them, you had nothing left, then you'd eaten the whole pizza. So very good. Let's just check our answers. Yes, there we go. Very good. It's almost like when you have a test, isn't it? When you have spellings, and if you were given 3, but if you got 1 of them right, you'd have 1 out of 3. You got a third of them right. It can work for many different things in life, fractions, and that's why it's good that we're doing them now. Okay, let's have a look at the questions that we're going to try and do today. We're going to shade the parts to represent the fractions, but obviously, when you're at home, you're not able to shade in your computer screen or your laptop screen, so you'll have to try and draw the shape and put them into equal parts, and then shade the ones that represent that fraction. So once you've drawn the shape, then you put the fraction next to it to show what it shows, okay? So here are the 4, well, no, there's 3 questions today. That's good, isn't it? 3 questions. So pause the video now if you want to try the green questions. And I think today that there might be more people wanting to do this because it is our introduction to non-unit fractions. So don't sit there and struggle with the yellows and the reds if really what you need is just to get a head start and get cracking with understanding the non-unit fractions. If you want to do the yellow chili questions though, pause the video here. Or if you want a real challenge, try the red chili questions, which are here. Okay, are you ready to see the answers? If not, pause me or go back. But if so, I'm going to reveal them in 3, 2, 1. There we are for the green and yellow chili questions. Check your answers. And for the red chili, there we go. Very good. Right, well done everybody. Obviously go back if you need to check anything or change anything, see where you went wrong, that's fine. We're going to move on to some reasoning though, and I'll do the first one with you. Alex says, I have shaded 2 over 2 or 2 halves of this shape. What mistake might Alex have made? Well, it looks to me that she has shaded 2. But the thing is, that 2 there it's the denominator. It's meant to represent the total amount of parts. Are there only 2 parts here? Or are there in fact 1, 2, 3, 4 parts? She's actually shaded 2 over 4, hasn't she? 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 over 4. So I think she might have got a bit confused there. Now how would I write that in my reasoning? I put, she has shaded 2/4 of the shape. She may have thought that the numerator represents the number of parts that are shaded and the denominator represents the number of parts that aren't shaded. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? But it isn't true. She doesn't realise that the denominator represents the whole. So remember that this denominator, this lower number here of the fraction, represents the total number of parts. So it should be 4. Okay. I'll leave you with some questions now for reasoning. There are 2 questions for the green chili. So pause the video now if you want to try those. If you want to try the yellow chili questions, pause the video now. Or if you want to try the red chili questions, pause the video now. Right. Good work, everybody. Let's check those answers in 3, 2, 1. There we are. Okay, remember, reasoning might be slightly different to the words that you use or the answers that you've come up with, but just read them carefully and check to see whether they are actually the same or what you need to change. Okay, well done on the reasoning. Let's move on to some problem solving. Let's try one together. So we're going to sort these fractions into this table. These fractions here will each go into a part of the table. Okay, well 3/4. That's a non-unit fraction because we have more than one part that we're counting. So 3/4 must go in one of these 2 here. Is it equal to 1 whole? No, because we've got 4 total parts and we're only using 3, so 3/4 must go in here. 2 halves. Well, again, non-unit fraction because it's more than 1 on the numerator, but it's equal to 1 whole because it's 2 out of 2 parts, so it must go in here. 1 over 3 or 1/3. Now that is a unit fraction because it's got 1 on top. So is that equal to 1 whole? No, it's only 1/3 of it, so it needs to go here. 1/4, again, a unit fraction, but it's less than a whole. 2 over 3, or 2/3, that's a non-unit fraction because it's more than 1. And that must mean, is it equal to a whole? No, it's less than that, so it must be here. 4 over 4, well, that's definitely a non-unit fraction, and it's equal to 1 whole, so it goes in here. The same with the 3/3 or 3/3, that will go in here. But finally the 1/2, 1/2, that is a unit fraction and it's less than 1 whole because it's exactly 1/2 of a whole. So were there any tables in the boxes in the table empty? There was one box that was empty, wasn't there? Because in terms of our unit fractions, we had everything beginning with 1, but our options didn't have 1/1. And that is the fraction that we could write there. Should we check our answer? Let's look. Yep, that is everything that we said, and there are no unit fractions that are equal to 1 whole, but 1/1 would fit there if we had it. Okay, brilliant stuff. Let's have a look at your questions to finish. If you want to try the green chili questions, pause the video now. If you want to try the yellow chili questions, pause the video now. Or if you want to try the red chili questions, pause the video now. Now, for the red. And then we can check the answers in 3, 2, 1. There we are. It shows us the odd one out in each case. Obviously, go back in the video a little bit to your page if you need to remind yourselves of the question as well, so you know whether to tick, whether to cross, or what you can add just as a correction. Okay, well done again. Very well done with non-unit fractions. Let's have a look at our summary then. It says the first one, shade 3/4 of each shape. And then finally, it says shade in the whole of each circle. What fraction is represented in each case? So for that one, you might need to draw a couple of the shapes and then shade in parts and then label what the fraction is for those shapes. Well done again today, everybody. We've got another maths lesson to go, so please join me tomorrow and we'll continue counting in fractions. Well done.